Good. I thought my computer was going to play up.
No, you're all right. I almost had a moment there where, for some reason, it wasn't letting me log into the corporate account because we share it with New Zealand, and I was like, "Uh-oh, someone's changed the password." It was asking me for this re weird code that wasn't being sent to my email. I was like, "I don't know whose email that's going to," but we're here anyway.
I just couldn't see. As far as I know, Kim is going to attempt to log on. I sent you
Cool.
a message if you got it. She'll be on kid pickup and everything else.
Yes, it is that
So,
time of day, isn't it?
EXP on the move.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Mobile, agile. Hey, Kim, can you hear us? Oh, she was there a moment ago. She might have just dropped out. A
Yeah, I
few
think she's
minutes.
going
I'm
to
just
try and
gonna.
log in from her phone.
Okay, that's cool. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here. How you
That's
been?
okay. It's been a big day.
Yeah, it's been hectic. It's Kirsten's away at the moment, Rob's away at the moment. I'm like, hey, how was that allowed? Two of you off at the same time.
Mm.
Two resources down. So the phone's been going crazy today, non-stop.
I've tried avoiding contacting anyone unless I needed to.
Uh, I'm dealing with some really prickly ones too. Like, oh, yeah. Anyway, it's for another day. All right, so. We are recording. Okay, Kim's back
Right.
in. I'm just got to add you as a panelist there. Kim, give us a moment. Here we go. Okay, should we coming in as panelists now?
We'll try and stay on track when us women get together. We're a bit down there.
Don't worry about it, mate. It's been one of those days for me. This way, that way, up way, down way. You just roll with it, don't you, in real estate?
Oh, Kim's very good at multitasking.
All right. Can you hear us, Kim?
Yeah, can
You
you
able
hear
to
me
come in?
now?
I've got you. I've got you loud and clear.
Oh, perfect.
Are you able to come on screen or?
I'm trying to figure this out.
That's okay. All good. We got a couple of
Um,
minutes anyway. I'm just
uh,
setting up the live stream ready to go.
okay, I'm not sure if I've worked this out. Can you see me yet or not?
Not yet.
Oh dear. All right. No, that's not working either. I'm so not sure how to do this. Nope.
It should be just a little video camera symbol down the bottom right hand side. Are you in the Zoom app?
Yeah, I'm in the app and I can't, like, I'm pressing that and it's just not working. Yep, I can't do it.
Okay, that's right. We'll make do. You've got a wonderful voice, as we all know from your incredible content anyway. So it's a
And you
natural
haven't.
voice for TVM radio, but you look great in front of the camera too when I've seen your content online.
Chris,
So
she's the whole package. She
yeah,
even
I've
she
seen.
even sings.
We're gonna talk about that a little bit today, so I'm looking forward to it.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
Kim, it's just going to be a casual chat. Obviously we build a lot of content around our EXP members and agents, their stories, their journeys, right? And everyone has a different story to share. And we
Yeah.
really like to proudly showcase that. So obviously I've been watching very closely a little bit what you've been doing content wise, and I know, what you and Dee have been the synergies working cross borders and collaboration. So I just really want to touch on that a little bit today. So let
Yep.
me just hit the live stream so we can just get underway here. Okay, EXP. All right, give us a moment, guys. Normally takes just a little bit to feed over. All right, we are 2:30. So just a bit of a chat among friends, yeah? I'll ask some questions. You ladies share your wonderful stories.
Sounds
And
good.
like to keep these to about 25 minutes, 30 minutes at most, 20 to 30 minutes, somewhere in there is plenty of time.
Yep, no worries. I'll be interrupting to go and get my kids, but I can talk and do that at the same time.
No problems.
Beautiful.
All right, it's
eXp on the move.
Yeah.
that's right, exactly. Come on, live stream. All right, just close a few things here. That one's good. That one's good. Uh, 3rd of June, aren't we? Yes, we want that one. All right. Come on, so slow. This is the problem when you got wife and kid at home. It's they're all streaming on the internet, watching kid stuff. You only know too well what that's like, Kim, don't you? All right, let's just check that one in there. Stream key, URL.
Guys, yet? You there?
Hey,
Sorry, you probably switched over to my Bluetooth. So
okay. We are streaming live. So let me just put this over here, guys, because we'll be monitoring everything if there's any comments as they come through. Okay.
That will be your role.
Happening now, live event, streaming is happening. I always like to triple check these things, Dee and Kim. All right, let's get started. Anyway, folks, we're live streaming. We hope this stream finds you incredibly well, whether you're joining us live or watching the replay. It is the weekly Tuesday session where we come together to share the incredible stories of everyday industry agents across the country, their story, their journeys, and whether you're a metropolitan agent, Adelaide, it's forefront of my mind because it's where I'm from, a metropolitan Adelaide, a regional transactional agent, even through to a lifestyle agent. We cover all bases of all styles and facets of agents across the country. And today we're joined by two incredible industry queens whom actually come from different parts of the country. One is in the top end of northern Queensland, up in Mackay, and the other one at Maryborough back in Victoria. Without further ado, we're going to be talking today to hear a little bit about their eXp journey. One of them on screen has been on a couple of times, so she's no first-time appearance to this eXp Realty Discovery session. But we've got somebody who's recently partnered with our model and collaborating with us across the country that's going to share some of the cool things that she's been doing in her business that I've seen, particularly around the space of content. Without further ado, Dee, thanks for joining us from Mackay. Kim Birnie, thank you for joining us from Maryborough, Victoria. How are you going, ladies?
Very good.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Our absolute pleasure. So, Dee, we know who you are. I mean, you're a familiar face on sessions like this, and if you only go to our YouTube content and library, you've appeared on many icon sessions, many content sessions. Let's start off with yourself. How long have you been with eXp Realty? You're a multiple icon agent. You're a lifestyle agent. Let's hear a little bit about your backstory and how you come into this model.
I think March was 4 years, my anniversary with eXp. I've been in real estate for 15 years. Most of the time was in an office, but I did do a spell not long after I started. I didn't really like the office environment way back then. So I got my full license so I could work as an independent with another agent. And then, times got a little bit tough and changed. I think after about 5 years, I did the office stint and I did do a few different offices. So I was always keen to get back as an independent and was just waiting for the time for the right model. And after quite a bit of research, it's been eXp.
Okay, so 4 years, icon agent, keeping 100% commission more than not. You're highly esteemed. You're doing great things. I've watched and admired from afar. You've got a beautiful balance of business and lifestyle. Tell me, Kim, who's on screen with us today, who's had a few technological issues, so you might not be able to see her on the live stream, folks, but you will be able to hear a wonderful voice that is an incredible voice from all the content that we'll share, absolutely, that she's been putting together. But tell me a little bit about the synergies. How did this relationship begin from Mackay to Maryborough?
Well, I actually met Dee, through, it was a company that I was working for prior to coming on board with eXp. I've been in real estate as well, close to 14 years, but I also ventured out into pre-property work, so getting houses ready to sell, so it'll be property styling, small renovations, things like that, basically giving a house a facial. And Dee was then renovating a little cottage in the town that I'm living in, which is Maryborough in the Central Goldfields Shire in Victoria, which is had gone to Dee. She was sort of looking for a bit of assistance with her cottage. Obviously, in her position, she was having to travel back and forth from one end of the country to the other. So it was nice to have some boots on the ground here. And we sort of sparked off a relationship that way. And then it ventured out end of last year, it was, where I was looking to, I guess, have a different, back end system, or, come into a better structure of real estate. And I was sort of doing my own, running my own company, and ventured on into the eXp model. Haven't looked since. I'm also working with an awesome lady that's giving me a hand for some of my brilliant ideas. So crediting very much Dee and my good friend Leah as well.
Awesome. It just really goes to show the power of the collaboration within our model. It's not just about being local, but obviously you can take this nationally, you can take it globally, and it just shows the true power behind being completely borderless here. So Dee, maybe just touch on what Kim was expanding on there, how you guys are collaborating, because you've been doing a lot of frequent flyer points, traveling back and forth between Northern Queensland to Maryborough. Like, tell us a little bit about that and how that's all unfolded for you.
Well, I think it was set with intention, because I'm originally from Victoria, and my kids are still there, and I knew at some point there'd be a grandson, and I love renovating, and I've always wanted to do up a binder's cottage. So I did really well picking the worst house probably in the town. And but there was always that vision, because also experiencing being a buyer for almost 8 years. And my good friend Leah, who I've known for about 30 years, that Kim has mentioned, has lived there for a long time. Her partner, gone back to her roots, so to speak, but we met when our kids were young. So we've always had a connection. We're both very much creatives. And then, so that was stirring up, keeping an eye out. But, even the time I actually went down there to inspect the property, Leah picked me up from the station, and the agent didn't even turn up. So I'd flown all the way from Mackay to Victoria. But, there were other experiences that I quickly realized, wow, they do things differently. They don't do anything that I might do, for instance, myself personally. And there's so much potential because it's a pretty little town. So, as Lee and I had discussed that over the time, I thought, there's potential down here. So it took a little bit. That was nearly 2 years in the making. So as Kim had mentioned, then I was given her number actually by Emily, and we got on quite well, and we saw the connection. We all have a background in either staging, styling, renovating, and a passion for what we did. And we all agreed that there was something missing in the town. So between then, it became 3 of us. And I was the one sort of crazily going down. And then I had the opportunity to list a property, which was Leah's. She really liked what I did all the time, from what I was doing up here. And so we launched her property, but I would not have taken that on if it wasn't for the collaboration from Kim. So, of course, Leah being vendor then in agreement. And then Kim, I did the marketing, and Kim did all the on-ground stuff. And so we could see that there was really great opportunity, collaboration, ideas. If you see three of us when we're sitting in one space, look out. And it's really just grown from there. And so we can see how quick and creative, because really we've just shared ideas. The girls are really great at what they do. So, you know, I have a sook now because I just want to get on a plane down there and be working with them. But
Yeah.
yeah, so, and Kim's doing a wonderful job really now between sort of me getting them started. Now Kim is mentoring with Leah, so we all still collaborate. And then when the timing's right, Leah is going to be on board with eXp as well. So
So
look
did
out,
I
Victoria.
look out? Absolutely. But did I just hear correctly? Dee Mangion in Mackay, Queensland, listed and transacted a property in Victoria Maryborough. Is that right?
Yeah, and I
Isn't that
even,
crazy?
well, and talking about lifestyle, so the property was in Holden Street. So
Okay.
I just had to, so my vision of marketing, I just had to have an old classic Holden. So at the time, my son had his EJ. The video's
Oh,
on
nice.
YouTube. Yeah.
Nice.
And so he drove all the way from Ballarat, and then I had to switch on my Vic brain from being near the coast and doing my open homes, open lines and that there. Because
Yep.
you know, when you've got to do it all yourself, it's different to having a partner in a video.
Of
So
course.
um yeah, so then I just looked for iconic places, and that was really encouragement from Leah, because she liked what I did. And that was a little bit of an opening. We thought if it could work, it not only showed bringing in lifestyle at a point of difference, what was already there, it also gave me and Kim the opportunity to collaborate. Then third, I reckon we got Leah hooked really quick. So she's coming on board, and they're going to be a dynamic team down there, and I'm going to bop in and out, and I'll probably be, well, I'm hoping I've got someone starting up here, so that'll allow me more time. But I'd probably be more lead generation role down there and doing some marketing, videoing them, and doing some crazy stuff, we hope. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So what I'm hearing there, Dee, is, not only are you a transactional agent in your current community and location of Mackay, you're now taking your business interstate and you're growing it there in a regional location of Victoria. You're collaborating with industry queens like Kim and Leah on the ground, obviously. Isn't it crazy that you're all three of you had some sort of similar background to some degree that brings you back here into the real estate industry, right? And you're building a team and organization in complete separate, different states from
The
where you
other
reside.
thing And the other thing with that is our age group.
Right.
It's sort
Okay.
of almost, I'm the mother bear, of course, right? I'm the
Yep.
oldie. But that's what's fabulous that excites me as well, is there's kind of a decade, if you could say, between. Of course, Kim's the baby, Leah's the in between. So that's also, really, I think, energizing. And the other thing for me is, being that I am Mama Bear in the scene, is, and why I also thought about eXp. So for anyone who is, because I was at the end of through COVID, so I was getting close to my 61st birthday when I moved across, going into business on my own. So I also saw the opportunity with eXp for anyone who, you're usually hooked in this industry. Not many retire really young. So
Hmm.
it is a good opportunity. I call this transition into retirement, but also the opportunity to help other agents. So, I do feel confident with my skills. I've proven certain things. And yeah, but, if I decide to bail out and go sit somewhere on a beach, as they all say, these girls are rocking it.
That's awesome. Kim, let's talk about yourself. I'm just here looking at your page right now, right across your content, which I've followed closely over a number of weeks now, from whether it be at the local Blue Pyrenees estate with clients, supporting local businesses in your content, to your incredible, explanation of the location and the video and your voiceover behind the scenes, Tell me a little bit about the freedom you find in your content, and what's the biggest strength you play to within your business, within the freedom that eXp provides as a model and platform.
Yeah, look, it took me a little while to find my niche, I suppose. I'd sort of worked in real estate in Melbourne, which was a completely different approach to real estate than coming out to a small country town that's sort of in growth mode. You know, I had to work with the people of the town and sort of understand what they were going to want from me in business, rather than, you know, sort of, it's not a one size fits all kind of approach. You know, they work differently in Melbourne to what they do in Maryborough. I had to find what that looked like for me. I think over time, one of the things that I felt that I needed to bring to the table a little more wasn't just, you know, can I sell a house? Yes, I can. I've proven that over many years. But I believed, you know, the marketing side of things was going to be really important. I kind of felt, you know, one of the natural flares that I have, my ability to be humorous, was one of those things. And I thought, well, why would I not just be exactly who I am in front of a camera, you know, when I'm advertising a property? Why would I not bring that authenticity to the marketing? People loved it. I think that video that you're referring to, that everyone's been talking about, you know, this population in the town's probably 10, 11,000. That video in the last 4 or 5 days has been viewed nearly 8,000 times, and that's without any boosting. There's
so that's organic.
That's organic.
Wow.
So nearly the entire town of Maryborough has viewed that video.
6 Napier Street, Avoca. I'm just looking at here. So just a lazy 7,800 views, or like you said, just under 8,000. 10 comments, 40 people sharing it. The intro to it is almost like watching a tourism ad introducing you to the community before you even look at the house. That's the catchy thing about it, Kim, is that where it got me is you weren't even talking about the house, but it lured me in about the location, the proximity of the home. So in your area of where you're situated in Maryborough, like, are there a lot of real estate agents? Like, are you competing against big brands? Is it more independent focused? Like, tell us about your local competition in your area.
You're dealing with big brands in a small area. You're dealing with people that are well established, that have been around for many years. And I guess in a small country town, one of the things that, you know, I always say is that a lot of people don't like change. So they use who they know, they use who everyone's used. You know, it's kind of word of mouth is more important to country folk. And, you know, whether or not they're brilliant at their job or not so great, well, we'll use this person because that's who everyone uses. So I kind of felt like, you know what, a bit of a shake-up might be good, but also being mindful that, you know, they're not just going to want to be, we can't just shake the hell out of them. It was kind of having a little bit more of a gentle approach to how we go about things. You know, but I guess over time, I've been here for nearly 5 years. I've gotten to know a lot of the locals in the community, and that's sort of helped. I've built a lot of contacts up because of what I do aside from real estate. You know, that's my singing. I sing a lot. I've got a lot of gigs in town. That's something I've always loved doing. And so I've built up a little bit of my own, I guess, social following from that, which has helped me get myself out there and establish myself in real estate also. But yeah, like I think with the country mindset and how people work out here, I think that, you know, what we've done over the last week has been really well received. And when something, I guess, captures their attention like that, you know, it's not hard for a smaller community to be noticed within that small community when you're doing something a little bit unique.
Well, look, you know, big brands or not aside, as I'm sure you could attest, local communities in regional locations is all about getting behind the underdog, right? And helping them become the local hero. So, you know, it's great to see. So, like, obviously, you've got a lot of big brands that have been well established in your local community for quite some time now. But did you see an opportunity to come in with a fresh set of eyes with what you're doing with respect to your social and digital activity? Like, is there many agents or agencies that are doing similar in the area, or is this something that's truly unique to the Maryborough community?
Completely unique. I think Dee Dee was very much pioneered it with her video on Holden Street, which was remarkable. That was an amazing video as well. And I think we needed more of that. It was a unique approach and a fresh approach to real estate, which is sort of what we're, I guess that's what we're sort of telling everyone here, is that we're bringing a fresh approach to the market. We'd like to see a little bit of progression in a small country town and in surrounding areas. Maryborough is situated sort of halfway between Bendigo and Ballarat. So you do have rather large regional towns, not so far away. So from this, if we can sort of get ourselves established out here, we'd like to branch out into those bigger regional communities also. Look out.
So I'm just looking at some of your marketing, and I can see a little bit of Dee touch on it, because I've seen a lot of Dee's marketing over the years.
Yeah.
Obviously, where she comes from, being the lifestyle agent in her location as well, from incredible signboards that she puts up with the palm trees. Very, very supportive of the local community that she's deeply entrenched in. But like, did you guys strategically go out there and go, okay, this is what the competitors are doing. How do we make our marketing stand out and pop and be that, new era generational agent of 2025? Because I'm looking at your for sale signboards, I'm looking at some of your social content. Like, did you strategically research and have a look at what the competitors are doing and how we can make it look even fresher than ever before?
Yeah, I guess we did. I definitely, again, would probably attribute some of these amazing ideas to both Dee and Leah. I can't wait for Leah to be on board. She is going to absolutely kill it. But those two ladies have definitely added their touch to the marketing. And then I guess for me, my strength's probably more in front of the camera, behind the camera, a bit of humorous, bit of, obviously how I guess I'm a performer. So it kind of came naturally to me to be that way. So between the three of us, we've sort of combined our powers and created a bit of magic.
Yeah, when you eventually meet Leah, Chris, get ready for it, because we're kind of a mirror image in our personalities and our drive. Kim's the one that has to ground us, because we're off a tangent. We've created this and we've got that and we're doing that.
The creative souls, yep.
Yeah, and so Kim's the more logical one and brings us back, and she, narrows it down, and generally she's got to really try to keep up with both me and Leah at the same time if we're having a meeting, because we do, and that's the whole thing. We get really excited about everything and it's fun. And, the girls have shown you that. I don't know. If I had been down there, what would have happened? They probably would have thrown me in the pool or something, But, and that's the whole thing. It's fun. I fell in love with the town some years back, and so I think it was always destined to be. And even while I was building, had trades come and would mention and just sort of drop, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing this. And we've done some advertising down there. I went down the path of a tourist magazine, which has been a little bit different. But what I'm trying to do is give us a bit of status with that. So I don't really expect traction. But now that the girls are out there doing what they're doing, there's one video we can refer to. I set up a separate Facebook page. So they're running now with their page. I'm in the background. I will edify them, show some of their content, throw in some of mine so people can slowly get to know me. My cottage is a bit, as I think Leah said, it's the anchor. So I sort of feel that's connecting. I was just recently offered, a spread in the local paper in the lift out. They really like the story. So if you're tapping in there, the women at the newspaper really like what I do. So they've been really passing the word around. And probably Kim too, the thing with, because Leah is really good with design as well, marketing, all of it. So we're really packaged well. And so, that also opens up, because we know that improving homes can add value. And being an old, regional town, there's so many gorgeous cottages, other buildings. So we can really support people with that. In turn, we're supporting local trade, and we love doing it.
Brilliant. Well, as I say, in any team environment with unique dynamics from each player on the field, play to your strengths, and I feel that's that's what you ladies do incredibly well. And looking forward to when Leah's on board, we'll do a revisit of this session, maybe in some months to follow, and we'll get the four of us on
Absolutely.
screen.
Well, Kim, I think he should make that an hour session. Do you?
Absolutely. Between the three.
Clear the diary for the day.
Wonderful idea. Yeah.
So Kim, just tell me, like, obviously you've been with eXp Realty a little bit shorter than what Dee has, and I'm sure there's many local businesses and brands that would have loved to have had you on their team. What I guess interested you about eXp Realty, and what have you been relishing the most being plugged into our model?
I didn't want to be stuck, you know, I guess I didn't want to be boxed, you know, and by having to play by someone else's rules. I wanted to be able to do exactly what you saw in that video, plus more, really. I wanted to be able to, you know, sail my own canoe and not actually get tied up playing by someone else's rulebook. So that was pretty much why eXp was appealing. So, you know, the Dee and Lee factor, I think they very much encouraged me to go that way, knowing what my strengths were. So it was really a mixture of those things that enticed me, and they're looking back for me now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that flows on into your content. You're very much a person about freedom and being able to explore and do things your own way. And that's very much reflective in your content. If you have a look at it, check out their webpage, their socials, guys. We'll drop it in the comment sections in this content. But we're going to catch up with Leah when she's on board. What's on the horizon in the next 90 days, 6 months for Dee, Kim, and Dynamite Leah team?
Yeah. Well, look, actually, we've got a couple of appraisals that we've got booked in over the next week, so I'm hoping to turn those into some more magical video content to really put our stamp out there. It'll be nice to have one quickly follow up the last one. So that's going to be happening, but really it's just in growth phase now. Let's see if we can take over and get eXp out there all throughout the Central Goldfields and into Bendigo, Ballarat areas too would be wonderful.
Brilliant. And Dee, how many more trips have you got planned down south to Victoria?
Well, yeah. So while I've been doing all this, I'm working on eXp partner here in Mackay. You've had a word with him. So hopefully that will happen. And he is just wonderful. So I'm hoping my manifesting is in motion. And for me, I'd be probably flying in, flying out. I will be a FIFO real estate agent. I don't know if you've had it. So not a minor. And the focus is really supporting Leah and Kim, so we can really get off the ground. As I said, I love the marketing side. And then if I can tap into lead generation down there, I will focus on that. If I happen to be down there, can do any appraisals, but I would take them, so then they would be the on-ground person, like I did with the first listing. And hopefully that will support them in more listings and exposure. So I guess that will be our main thing for the coming year. And I feel quite confident, and then we'll just see where it goes from there. And then we'll find out if my cottage is the main home and I fly up here rather than flying down there. So
yes. So just a little bit of backstory on the cottage, right? Because I know about the history, but the viewers watching this, whether it be live or the replay, how long have you owned the cottage for now? Has it been 3 years?
No, 2 years, but it probably
2?
feels like 3. I can remember meeting Kim and she walked in and just scratched her head. Because as I mentioned, Emily had introduced us because she did what she did. And I knew, okay, once I got in there, see, this is the problem. If Leah and I together, we have the whole story. So Leah did come along and she knows my passion for cottage gardens and cottage. So yeah, we can do this. Like, we can do it. Yeah, you'll be right. So there was a lot of that, even though I had a builder in there, but it turned out to be bigger to do. And so we really, and I think Kim's team had scratched their heads and weren't in a hurry to get back in there. But that was still, wonderful, because I can remember, if you go on my Instagram and go way, way back, it was these two. I don't know whether they had even met before or maybe once before, but I think I was just overwhelmed and ready to sit in a corner and cry. Thought, what have I done? And if you have a look, there is a little clip that I did of them. They walked in with, or Kim bought some bubbles, Leah bought some cottage plants that
I
I
remember.
liked. And, yeah.
Yep, seen that.
And so the energy's always been there. And we might not all agree on everything, but it's still there. So I think it was meant to be. And I do find, I manifest and set the intention. It's just been slower. But really, when we look at it, because Kim and I, between us, had spoken about collaborating, because if I move down, but, I like it here in Mackay as well, and the market is good. So, and I thought, well, if I'm going into my transition of my age, why can't I do both? Why does it have to be? And with eXp, you can share, listings in that way. But what
Yeah.
is really incredible is the timing of everything, because the cottage still wasn't finished, and then Leah was thinking about selling, and then said, yes, really like you to do your marketing because no one does it. And then I really thought, well, it wouldn't be fair for me to take on the listing for Leah unless, because the market's slower, it's 90, 120 days down there. And so, but Kim and I had always been talking about going to do this, but as Kim mentioned, she had another business she was involved in, so couldn't really commit. And then it was like, as soon as I did the marketing on Leah's and Kim had agreed, it just exploded. Because if you watch the video, I invited Kim over there because I wanted people in the courtyard, sipping champagne and to give the feel of the entertainment area. So Kim happened to be available for champagne, and we're there. And then it was just timing of other things, and changes for Kim, encouragement to Leah, and it's led to it now. It's happening.
It's crazy how this universe works sometimes. To think that you embarked on this journey to buy a cottage as a renovation project from Mackay down to Maryborough in Victoria, to then coming across one another, to building these beautiful personal and professional relationships, to helping each other in business and in the entrepreneurial journey that is known as real estate in our industry, cross-border collaboration, building a team, building an organization, and expanding your brand and your presence in your local communities. Incredibly inspiring. It just shows you the versatility of new era models such as ours. It's no longer just about having a shop front in the local street corner. I mean, you guys are collaborating, doing incredible things, and you're not even in the same state. Ladies, thanks so much for your time. Greatly appreciate you taking 30 minutes out of your busy day in businesses. And I promise you, when Leah's on board, we're going to have to get the four of us together. We'll clear some time in the diary, but we'll absolutely make it work.
I assure you, if you don't do it, she'll be in touch with you.
Yeah, no, she'll be up for that. Sounds good.
Chris, just one more thing.
Yeah.
With it that I'm finding rewarding, as I said, because I get as excited and I just want to be down there. So, I'll sook a few times if I'm going to miss out on it, but I'm so proud of them. And it's also for me now, sort of moving on a little bit into a mentorship role, or, seeing people who've got such great potential actually come in and then start doing as you're seeing now, and they're only just starting. But even what I've got happening here in Mackay, I'm just finding a different approach to my real estate that I know, and it's just so rewarding to see then others succeeding or bringing out something in them that they may not have done or bothered with, and then all of a sudden it's happening for them. I don't know if I explained that so well.
Dee, I couldn't agree more. After 17 years in the industry myself, something that truly gets me out of bed every morning is helping others succeed in this industry. Getting that call when they say, I've listed my first property, I've negotiated that first transaction, or when you push somebody out of their comfort zone from how they were trained formally somewhere else to then doing it out of the box a little bit differently, like Kim and her incredible content, that's where you get to at a stage in your career where you really appreciate and value. I mean, listing and selling is important, and you can do it confidently, and as can I. But when you help the next generational agent come through in their 20s, in their 30s, because we've been there, we've walked in those shoes, we've done the hard yards. But to be able to install that and pass it on to the next generational agent, it's priceless. And there's something incredibly empowering in it for me, and I can see with yourself as well. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, because there are so many success stories out in the industry, not just in our model, in any model. And that's truly what this environment's about, is so that we can share this incredible story of yours and Kim's and Leah's, because that's the true success. There's a lot of people going out there today in our industry that are winning, succeeding, doing incredible things, but no one would not. They're working in silence, in isolation. So that's why we want to create this beautiful platform. That's why we live stream this stuff. That's why we share it to our library, because anything that everybody's going through, we can tap into resources like this and go, you know what, Dee, I'm going to pick up the phone because I'm in a location. I was thinking of moving states. I'm going to talk to you about how that might work, what that looks like. Or I want to grow a team in another state, not just my location. Sharing is knowledge. Knowledge is power, right?
Yeah.
All right, ladies, thanks so much for your time. Kim, I know you got to shoot off for school pickup. Real estate, content creator, mum, entrepreneur, stylist, everything in between. Thank you so much for your time, ladies. I'm incredibly grateful, and have a successful day. And folks, we'll catch you on the next eXp Realty Discovery session. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Thank you. Thanks, Kim.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.